Hello again. In this video, we're going to be learning how to multiply polynomials. Let's begin. So when multiplying polynomials, all you're doing is you're multiplying each term in one polynomial by each term in the other. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you two different ways. There may be more. The way that I approach it is I distribute each term in the first one into the second one. There's also a method called the box method that I'm going to show as well. So basically, when you multiply two terms together, you multiply the numbers together first and then multiply by bases. When you do this, remember the rules of exponents, specifically the one where you multiply by bases, you add the exponents. So if we have two things with like bases that we're multiplying together, then you add the exponents. This will make your multiplying easier. And then if you have a exponent on the outside, so if we're raising a power to a power, then you're going to be multiplying those exponents. I should have used m and n instead of 2 and 3, but you know, whatever. So when we're doing this, we multiply the numbers first. 2 times 3, and that gives us 6. Then we multiply like bases. So x and x. X to the 5th times x squared is x to the 7th. A lot of students make the mistake of saying 5 times 2 is 10. That's not correct, because what we're doing when we multiply these two things together is we're multiplying 2 times x to the 5th, which is 5x's, 4, 5, times 3 times x squared, which is x times x. So in all this, you've got 2 times 3, which gives you the 6, and then you've got 5 x's and 2 more, which gives you a total of 7 x's being multiplied together, which is where we get x to the 7th power. All right, so let's try multiplying two binomials together so I can show you what I mean by distributing each term. So I'm going to start by distributing this first term, this 2x, into both of these terms over here. Now, the way I used to explain this was these are two countries at war, and each city in this country is going to bomb each city in this country using multiplication missiles. So I make noises when I do this. So we go, ew. I know it doesn't exactly sound like a missile, but it's okay. 2x times 3x, 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. Ew. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. And now that one's done, I multiply this term by everything over here. So ew. It's going to be plus 6x. Minus 4. Now that I've multiplied, I got to combine like terms. So 6x squared doesn't have any like terms. Negative 4x plus 6x combines to give you positive 2x. And you have minus 4. Now, like I said before, there's another way to do this. You can do this using the box method. In order to set up the box method, you draw a box with enough squares or enough columns for one polynomial. So like 2x would be this column, and then positive 2 will be this column. And enough rows for the other polynomial. So 3x is this column, negative 2 is this column. And it doesn't really matter which one you put on the top and which one you put on the side. I usually put the bigger polynomial on the top if it has more terms, and the other polynomial on the side, but it really doesn't matter. Now we multiply each row by each column. So we do 3x times 2x and get 6x, 3x times 2 and get 6x again. 3x times 2x is 6x squared, sorry about that. And then 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And you'll notice that each box matches up with something from our other method. Now, when you do the box method, you combine like terms, and your like terms will always be in diagonals. So there's our like terms for here. Combine them and you get the same thing. Here's a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. And we can do the either method. I'm wanting to do this one using the box method. So here we go. Remember, I like to do my smaller one as my rows. So we got x plus 2 as my rows. And then as the columns, I like to do the bigger polynomial. So we got 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. X times negative 3x is negative 3x squared. And x times 1 is x. 2x squared times 2 is 4x squared. Negative 3x times 2 is negative 6x. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm going to be combining like terms, which once again, those are found in the diagonals. So my final answer is going to be 2x cubed. And then 4x squared minus 3x squared gives me positive plus x squared. Negative 6x plus x is negative 5x, so it's minus 5x plus 2. So there's a couple of different methods for multiplying polynomials. In the next video, we're going to be dividing polynomials, so we're going to be undoing multiplying polynomials. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video, and have a good one.